guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today I'm playing another game against Woody 5 for a Total War Warhammer Battle Replay. So it should be fun. It's a bajillion degrees, so if I keep calling these long beards, I don't know, something else, and I forget what everything's called, it's because it's a billion degrees, because we're in the middle of a heat wave, and I'm dying. So yeah, so bear with me. So here, got another cool themed army. So yeah, I mean, I've got Longbeard, but this is actually a Slayer army. As you can see, I've got Ungrim leading. I've got just a front line of Longbeards, because, you know, only experienced troops are going to come along with such a reckless army. So I also got the Grumbling Guard, and I've got a Runesmith over there, a Runesmith over here, and then I've got 1 unit of Slayers, 2, 3, 4, and the Dragonback Slayers. So that's 5 units of Slayers. So yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. So 5 lots of Longbeards, 5 lots of Slayers, a couple of Runesmiths, and of course I got my my General Ungrim leading the Slayers. He's the Slayer King after all, so you know it seems appropriate. And I'm going as the Vampire Counts because obviously you know these guys tend to sit a lot. You know they're around Sylvania, right? Carrick Cadrin. So yeah, they're going to be fighting the undead a lot. How they ended up fighting them, you know, on the outskirts of Athelloren, I have no idea. Maybe they were just chasing the vampires a long way. Because, yeah, who would want to fight this, you know? So, unfortunately, you know, I've managed to get them cornered here somehow. I'm not entirely sure how the narrative plays out here. But whatever, it's cool. So, as you can see, 2 black coaches. That's going to be amusing. They've got pretty good armor piercing. As long as you keep them in a fight, they can actually do a lot of damage to dwarves. But they are large. So, Slayers are going to be a problem for him. Also, he's got the Sternsman, so, you know, really good regenerating Graveguard, so really solid. And he's also got some more Graveguard, you know, 2 units with great weapons, 2 units without. And he's got the Tithe, just as some fodder to throw in the middle, and they're led by Vlad von Carstein, and he's also got Vampire of Death. So, pretty cool. And then over here, he's got some Hex Wraiths, which is kind of cool. But a bit of an issue here with the Hex Wraiths against the Dwarves is obviously they got magic attacks, if we see. So yeah, magic attacks. And Dwarves have got an inherent, you know, magic resistance. But they've got great physical resist, so it's going to be hard for Dwarves to fight them. But I've got Runesmiths, so yeah, a few Runes of Wrath and Ruin and they're going to melt. So should work out okay for me. So yeah, so we'll go in. Obviously the Graveguard, they're going to be able to chop through, you know, both the Longbeards and the, that was my ringtone, shush. And it's too hot to move. Yeah, so yeah, the Graveguard can do really well against the Longbeards and the Slayers, to be honest. Because, you know, they're good anti-infantry, and of course these are all infantry, so they're a solid pick. And obviously the ones with great weapons are going to do well against the Longbeards, get through that armour. But, you know, the other Graveguard don't need, you know, any extra help to get through these Slayers. So they'll do a good job. And also, you know, these black coaches, they can do well against the armour. So, you know, if they get sort of all of their buffs, because, yeah, they get stronger the longer they're in combat. So if they get, you know, to sort of maximum strength, then, yeah, they're going to be able to start chasing down my lords and things. It's going to be really tough. So it sends the Tithe to break my charge. Obviously, you know, I've got charge defense generally, so it could have stood still, but no, this is a Slayer army, I want to play reckless. So charge just straight in. So we get a Rune of Wrath and Ruin on the Graveguard with great weapons, both of them. And so he's coming in with his heroes now. You see the Tithe are melting pretty quickly. So I've kept my my Dragonback Slayers back, because I want to make sure I know what these black coaches are doing first. Because, yeah, if I can get these black coaches, then that'd be great. So, as you can see, some zombie summons coming in behind. That's not a bad way to, you know, deal with the Slayers. Because, yeah, they're not great against armoured targets, but they might be able to do some damage to the Slayers. Unfortunately, their combat stats are quite low, so they're going to get chopped to pieces very, 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 very quickly by the Slayers. But, if it keeps them busy, then, you know, you can throw in the black coaches without having to worry too much. So that's pretty cool. So, yeah, he's in the fight now. And now this other lot coming in the fight, but, you know, all this back line... Oh, actually, this is... yeah, there are Slayers in here. So a lot of this back line is Slayers, so he's already surrounded by Slayers. But then he didn't really have much of a choice. So, as you can see, Vlad and Ungrim had a bit of a fight. And actually, Vlad was winning that, but he decided to pull out. Which I'm not sure he needed to. So yeah, Graveguard here, another Rune of Wrath and Ruin goes down on them. So that's good news. And now, his Hex Wraiths are out. I couldn't see them before. So I thought this was his whole army. So, you know, not ideal. So anyway, bring out some Slayers, and because I want to get them back here. You can see the black coach is having a terrible, terrible time. So yeah, I want to get around so he can't escape. And it doesn't look like I even need these guys, to be honest. So the other black coach has come in here, trying to deal with Ungrim, but he hasn't got maximum strength yet, and so yeah, you can see Ungrim is taking him down very quickly. So that's both the black coaches taken out. You know, they would be good against dwarves if I didn't bring so many slayers. You know, this is obviously really tough matchup for the black coaches, because yeah, they do actually do pretty well. They got a bad reputation, but yeah, they're not bad. So over here though, you can see these Graveguard are doing work against the Longbeards and the Slayers. With Vlad's help, you know, this side is definitely losing. So here, I managed to get a Rune of Wrath and Ruin on their Hex Raids, and look how much damage they're taking. And I'm pretty sure I proc another one. Yep, and use another one, just to make sure they're dead. Melt every single one. And with the Dragonback Slayers behind them, oof, it's terrible. Yeah, they don't have magic attacks, but you know, they hit like trucks anyway. And with the anti-large bonus, they're going to do damage to Hex Wraiths. So yeah, those Hex Wraiths did not help. So real pity. Again, just awful, awful matchup for him. Because you know, if I didn't have Runesmiths, I wouldn't have had a really easy way of taking them out. But I did. So yeah, I just singled them both out, and boom. Here though, these Longbeards and these Slayers are taking an absolute beating. So I bring in a Runesmith to try and pin down Vlad, and I'm trying to get these Slayers behind, trying to get these Slayers behind. You can see, you know, although a lot of key units of Woody 5s are gone, you know, Vlad's on pretty much full health. A lot of these Graveguard are doing great. The Vampire of Death is having a good time. So you know, it's not a given at this point. It certainly isn't, because yeah, the Graveguard, they are very good against dwarves. So here though, you can see, get another Rune of Wrath and Ruin, and with the charge from behind, that is enough to just hit their leadership a huge amount. So that's really good news. So that surround there, yeah, I've done serious work, and now they're crumbling. So yeah, that rear charge really helped seal the deal on this flank, which is great. Yeah, you can't underestimate a good rear charge. So here though, you can see Ungrim is getting singled out, which is clever. He might have wanted to do that a bit earlier. But then saying that, you know, all my Slayers, wherever they are, there we go. I can't tell which are Slayers and which are Longbeards from the banners, but all my Slayers are unbreakable, so you know, it's not going to help much. But as you can see now, because I'm getting them surrounded everywhere, because he has lost a lot of units, it's just hitting his leadership so much. So another Rune of Wrath and Ruin coming down. It's crazy how quickly you can use those, like if you've got two Runesmiths, and yeah, they really help. So yeah, more units are crumbling. So it's pretty much down to Vlad and the Vampire. So I've got one of my Runesmiths fighting one Vampire, and Vlad is just surrounded by Longbeards and Slayers, and the Grumbling Guard as well. Grumbling Guard, obviously great in this kind of matchup, because you know, you can keep healing up the undead, and so they're going to survive for a very long time in a fight. And so you know, you want longevity, and yeah, the Grumbling Guard, they allow everyone to stay fresh. It makes, you know, gives an aura that prevents vigor loss, so it keeps everyone fresher for longer. So against something like the Vampire Counts, really useful. To be honest, it's great against any army, like any battle that's going to be prolonged. You know, the Grumbling Guard are going to help keep your guys on form for longer, so you know, it's kind of a must. So you can see the Vampire starting to lose heart here. Vlad, he's taken some damage, but I've got Ungrim here fighting him. Probably a mistake for me, because Ungrim is very hurt. Luckily though, Vlad is so surrounded, he's gonna be attacking a lot of other units by accident during this fight. So so yeah, that's not so bad. Also, I know that I have so many Slayers. The Slayers will be able to finish off this army, I think, eventually, hopefully. So maybe it won't matter if I lose Ungrim. So you can see more zombies coming up, and look at that. That really hit my my leadership there for those Longbeards. So not a bad shout, but you know, one lot of Longbeard running away, that's not really going to seal it. But you know, we're getting there. So I charged Ungrim out again, because I realised he was in there far too much. So I got him out of there. These guys are going to have real trouble trying to wade through to get to him. But it looks like he's trying, so, you know, fair play. Because he doesn't really have many other options here. Because, yeah, I've still got all my heroes. And obviously he lost his black coaches, which he spent a lot of money on. Lost his hex raids very quickly. So he hasn't been able to capitalise a lot. So, yeah, my army was a perfect counter for his, to be honest. So, yeah, there's not really much he could have done with this force. But, you know, if it's a more conventional dwarf army, with maybe just like the one unit of Slayers, he could have kept them wrapped up with zombies and things, and the black coaches could have just gone crazy throughout all the lines, you know, taking out a lot of dwarves. Because the dwarves don't have a lot of anti-large. They really don't. So, yeah, it's really good to have some Slayers. There's probably too many Slayers, but to be honest, it seems to do the trick against the Vampire Counts, because the Vampire Counts, their strength really lies in their, like, really good monstrous units. So they have a lot of large units. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Although, the Vampire Counts don't have a huge amount of armor piercing, unless they bring, like, a load of Graveguard with great weapons. You know, kept them bolstered up. I mean, that works. But, yeah, I find just having a lot of Slayers, it really helps to be able to actually flank. Because, yeah, they don't really expect you to be able to flank much as the Dwarves. But, yeah, they're pretty fast. Brackets for a Dwarf. So, pretty cool. So it's a fun battle. But yeah, I just had such a great counter to his army, unfortunately. And I think a couple of mistakes there. In terms of, you know, his makeup. Although, actually, the black coats I don't think were a mistake. Because the chances of me bringing this many Slayers is pretty minimal. I think they could have done good work against a more conventional army. The Hex Wraiths, though, I think there's a massive risk, because most Dwarf players are going to bring Runesmiths, and it only takes a couple of Rune or Wrath of Ruin to completely destroy a unit of Hex Wraiths. So, yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. But, you know, not a bad idea. They are armor piercing and stuff, so, but yeah, just to make up my battle, you know, make up my army, I just did not really rely on armor, you know? Most of my force was Slayers. So, yeah, perfect counter. So, really tough, but you can see, you know, some of his guys did some work. Yeah, you can see the Graveguard did pretty solid. The Sternsman did well, you know, but, yeah, a lot of this was zombies, but yeah, the Slayers did serious work. And Grumbling Guard, wow, 137 kills, that's pretty good. Very cool. Anyway, so, yeah, I think that about wraps it up. So, thanks, Woody5. We've got another replay, the two of us playing, that I'll post, I don't know, probably tomorrow. So, yeah, it's another themed one. He came up with a fun theme, which I'll actually have to explain, because we play Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay together. And he made a theme, his army was based on one of the towns that, you know, that sort of I've written in. Well, the town exists on, you know, Warhammer maps, but there were no details about it, which gave me free reign to make up a load of stuff, which is great fun. So, but yeah, it's one of the sort of main towns that they've visited so far. And he made an army based on it, and it's really cool. So I'll you know, hopefully sort of go through it and explain when we get there. So yeah, one more battle from us, and yeah. So guys, if you enjoyed this, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.